Turns out this has been a long time coming. Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Hannah Needs to Yell, and today I need to yell about Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast, for the third time, hopefully the last time, we'll see. MrBeast has been in some very hot water over the past few months, especially since July of 2024. The internet has been swirling with allegations of dangerous conditions during the filming of his show, The Beast Games, alleged misconduct by one of MrBeast's employees, best friends, collaborators, Ava Tyson, as well as another employee named LaQuoya Hill, resurfacing clips of Jimmy himself making discriminatory comments in old YouTube videos, and plenty more issues than that. I have covered these recent situations twice previously, once in a video and once in a live stream, which, by the way, hi, I feel like these recorded videos that I'm doing are reaching a new, different audience than my live streams are. So just if you're missing me and my content, I've been back in action since June doing a lot of live streams because of my schedule. So check out the live tab on my channel if you've missed them, watch them. And if you want to be made aware of others, make sure you subscribe, like the video, share the video, set your notifications to all on my channel, etc. so you can keep up with what I'm doing. Live streams so far have been a more realistic way for me in my life to put out content consistently. It might be live streams sometimes videos, we'll see. Anyway, things have been coming out about MrBeast and Co. Things are continuing to come out about MrBeast and Co. And there are plenty of creators keeping us up to date on all of the newest updates related to MrBeast, especially Rosanna Pansino and Dawson from Dogpack 404. Huge shout out to the both of them. They are great resources for people looking to stay up to date on the recent things going on. But today, I'm here to talk about something else, which has become clear to me with 2020 hindsight. Nothing happens in a vacuum. And as I have researched MrBeast, I have found a timeline of red flags that went missed or ignored by everyone who is just now tuning in to how problematic he really is, in my opinion anyway. People have been raising red flags about Jimmy Jam for a long time. And I don't even mean about secret behind-the-scenes things, interpersonal things between employees or relationships that we never could have known about without an expose. No, I mean, people were raising red flags about a lot of public-facing things that directly impacted MrBeast Jimmy's fan base. But these red flags ended up being missed, ignored, stifled by the creator's small platform, or allegedly bullied into silence. And to be clear, I am not some MrBeast stan or follower or anything, so I also missed these red flags. I'm not here to blame anyone for not seeing this coming. Maybe we can talk about why we didn't think this was coming at the end, perhaps, and I would love to hear your thoughts about that. But ultimately, blame is not important at this point. Instead, I'm here because we can all learn from this. Now that we have the benefit of hindsight, I think we should look at these red flags that people were raising over the years and absorb them so that we can stay vigilant and recognize similar red flags from other creators that we enjoy, especially creators whose audiences are largely children. So today I'm going to present a chronological timeline of red flags about MrBeast. This is not meant to contain all the red flags that are out there because I can't. The more research I did, the more videos I kept finding, and I'm sure I could keep researching for months and finding more and more stuff and never get a video out there. I'm mostly going to focus on the public-facing red flags about public issues or about private issues that were brought to the public long ago. So ultimately, this is a starting point, a highlight reel, if you will, enough to give you a broad idea of what concerns me when it comes to MrBeast and perhaps inspire you to do your own research, but it is not all-inclusive, nor is it meant to be. Everything I'm about to say is allegations, opinions, speculations based on the information that is publicly available online. I welcome you to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, do your own research, form your own opinions, and tell me those opinions in the comments. I am here for a discussion. And for those who want to learn more about the specific stories I'm going to reference, I will have my full resources, articles, videos linked in my sources list. I highly recommend that you check out the ones that interest you, as those creators deserve the clicks for their work. Feel free to list in the comments below any red flags that I was not able to include. Like I said, I'm sure there are more out there. I am keeping today's video focused on MrBeast, Jimmy Donaldson himself. So that means that I am not going to thoroughly discuss or address the situation with Ava Tyson, except as it may or may not relate to or involve Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast. There are tons of videos out there about the Ava situation. I recommend checking out those for more details on that. I have to draw a line somewhere. So let's get into it. As we get going, we're going to provide some context by starting with a very quick origin of MrBeast, and then we will get into the timeline of red flags. The origins of MrBeast. A brief overview. I'm not going in depth on this part. It's pretty well known at this point that MrBeast started YouTube in 2012 when he was about 13 years old. In fall of 2016, he dropped out of college to try to figure out how to crack the code of making a YouTube video go viral. This quest for virality was the main push behind his early YouTube career, as he dabbled in different genres, from gaming to commentary to reaction compilations to challenge videos. He first went viral in 2017 for a video of him just counting to 100,000. That was all. He took the cue from that virality and put out a few more similar stunt videos before he finally figured out his unique angle. As Taylor Lorenz puts it in her New York Times article, quote, stunt philanthropy. He got his first brand deal in June of 2017. As Nicole Slasky puts it, an NFT marketplace with a long list of BBB complaints that could be better described as legal gambling heavily promoted to children. They sponsored one of his videos. I'm going to have all of this linked below. So MrBeast took the $10,000 sponsorship fee from that deal, from that marketplace, and made a video of him giving that money away to a person experiencing homelessness. This kickstarted his philanthropic ventures. As this ladbible.com article says, the YouTuber, MrBeast, would smartly give his brand deal money away to a stranger and video himself doing it. He explained, Jimmy, so the first time I got a brand deal is 10 grand. Well, it's 5 grand, and I was like, double it and I'll give it away, which I think that the company did. I know this says up here 5,000, but it seems, based on many sources, the deal was 10 grand. So I think it ultimately did end up being 10 grand because that's what Jimmy did give away. So he had to get that money from somewhere. Anyway, so he continues. So I literally just gave away all my brand deals every single time I got one. So I did that. And the next time I would just do a brand deal, give it away. And then the next brand deal was bigger. And I just did that for like 2 years straight. They conclude the article by saying, a risky strategy for sure, but it certainly paid off. And a strategy indeed it was. A strategy that was an investment for Jimmy to get views. This rebrand as YouTube's biggest philanthropist was extremely profitable. His brand deals went straight into his giveaway fund, but he made all that money back and more through merch sales and starting various businesses. But in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, Jimmy's videos showing him handing out bundles of cash to strangers weren't based in a desire to help others, to give back, to make the world a better place. They were about money. If some other venture had gone more viral and been more profitable for him, you'd better believe that's what Jimmy would be doing on YouTube right now. Gaming, commentary, reaction compilations, whatever. But this is the thing that worked for him, so he stuck with it. Since then, his quote-unquote philanthropy has always been about virality and profitability. Jimmy later told Bloomberg in December of 2020, quote, once you know how to make a video go viral, it's just about how to get as many out as possible. You can practically make unlimited money. Not you can practically help unlimited people. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, in my opinion, When you run your business prioritizing profit over all, it's a recipe for disaster in the form of a toxic workplace, overworked and underpaid staff, potential safety issues, less care and attention being put into the content, less awareness of what is socially acceptable. If he doesn't have time to pay attention to that stuff because he's just churning out content, no wonder he got himself into hot water. And that leads me to the next portion, the main portion of this video, the red flags that started slowly but surely piling up about Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast, over time. I'm not going to go into the greatest detail about all of these. Some of them I will, some of them I'll just mention briefly. So if you want to go look it up further and get those details for yourself, please check out my source list. First red flag. A tweet from 2016 where it shows Jimmy using a homophobic slur. I am not going to show the tweet on my video, but I am going to link it. That's a red flag for me, for a lot of people. Next, he hired his former military mother named Susan in 2017 to work with him in his video production company. In and of itself, that is not a bad thing, but hiring her specifically to be the chief compliance officer who has responsibilities like being the only person with access to MrBeast's bank account, like the company bank account, and in the opinions of many former employees, acting as the HR manager, even though they deny it for some reason, it creates a biased workplace dynamic. This is especially true when employees had issues with Jimmy's practices, like the many who were concerned by the lack of consideration for safety on video shoots. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Goes all the way back to 2017, allegedly. There was no neutral party for the staff to complain to. It was just Jimmy's mom. That's not the best work environment, and it is a red flag for me. Next, there was a 2017 live stream where Jimmy said racist and homophobic comments. There's an article discussing this and his too late apology for it, linked in my sources. Next, on November 18th, 2017, Ava Tyson had tweeted that Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast, owned a drawing by Shadman, who is, in the words of Rosanna Pansino, Shadman is an illustrator who draws the most inappropriate images of children. All of the child most inappropriate art is tagged on his website under, quote, LOLI. According to Ava, the drawing was displayed, quote, as a centerpiece in Jimmy's living room. And indeed, you can see it in old videos. But nowadays it has been blurred out. How interesting. That's all a quote from Rosanna Pansino. This was a recent post of hers on Twitter showing this whole thing. Again, this one I'm not sure if I can show in my video for YouTube reasons, but I will have it linked. Later tweets from July 22nd, 2018 show Jimmy expressing that he also likes the art of Shadman. Rosanna has screenshots of these tweets from Ava and Jimmy. And so, like, to me, if you know that you're, like, if you're somebody building a kingdom of virality on YouTube, virality comes from kid-friendly content because a lot of the YouTube audience is kids. So if you have an audience of majority kids and you are also expressing that you like the art that puts kids in the most inappropriate situation possible, that's a red flag. Red flag, red flag for me. Next, sometime in 2017 to 2018, Jimmy, MrBeast, and his HR mom manager, Sue, hired a guy named Delaware, who they knew was an actual registered SO. This was discussed in Dogpack 404's second video that he put out recently. I'm linking that video. I also discussed it in one of my previous coverages of this. It was also confirmed on August 8th, 2024, in a tweet by Delaware's brother-in-law, known as Jake the Viking. So all of this was going on publicly before we get to the first mainstream media red flag. On May 24th, 2018, as MrBeast Yep. As MrBeast reached about 5 million subscribers, Taylor Lorenz at The Atlantic published an investigation exposing Jimmy's use of racist and homophobic slurs and other offensive language. Some old clips were shown or available linked of him doing this, also making sexist remarks. These can be seen in Dogpack 404's most recent video, MrBeast's Secret CEO. Once again, I have the article linked. What makes the most sense to me with this video is that I'm not going to show on screen in my video the sources that show slurs and things being used, but everything is going to be linked, like I said, below. Also, the article that talks about this from May 24th of 2018, the Atlantic article, is behind a paywall. I shouldn't show that to you, regardless of whether or not I can. So let's move on to the next one. In October of 2019, one of Jimmy's ex-editors, Matt Turner, shared tweets and allegations alleging that MrBeast bullied him daily and used ableist slurs against him. He also claimed no work credit was given to him, and if he ever asked for credit, according to him, that credit was given to somebody else. Next red flag, May 30th of 2020. Jimmy posts a video called, "I spent 50 hours in solitary confinement." And in and of itself, this is a big red flag to me. Solitary confinement is a form of torture. I don't know if that's a bad word for YouTube. And it's only undertaken at prisons and jails for the most extreme of circumstances where a inmate is showing signs of or risk of potentially unaliving themselves. Other than that, if it's used, it is a form of punishment. So it just shows to me this escalation of the content. And by then, he'd been doing these challenge videos since 2017. This was May of 2020. He probably was running out of ideas because he posts so frequently, trying to find some new and different things to do, in my opinion, my interpretation of this. And so he went so extreme that it's psychological, especially considering this is during the pandemic. May 30th, 2020 is during shutdown, during lockdown. People were kind of already in solitary confinement at this time. So it seems a bit tone deaf. It's weird. It's a weird concept for me. Anyway, Jake Weddle talks about his experience related to a solitary confinement video in Dogpack 404's second video exposing MrBeast very recently. Again, that's going to be linked. It is a heartbreaking story, in my opinion. I recommend that you go watch it. This is a red flag to me that Jimmy was going in this direction, and he still dabbles every now and then. On December 19th, 2020, MrBeast Burgers launched as an exclusively ghost kitchen business. MrBeast and the company he partnered with, Virtual Dining Concepts or VDC, quote, entered into an endorsement agreement on September 3rd, 2020. As it's described by restaurantbusinessonline.com, the agreement established MrBeast Burgers and gave VDC the right to operate the brand, as well as use MrBeast's name, images, and likeness to promote it, as long as MrBeast approved the usage in writing. The brand, which is prepared and sold by existing restaurants for delivery and pickup only, launched in December 2020 and became an instant success. It expanded to hundreds of locations and sold more than 1 million burgers in its first 3 months. But then came the bad reviews. Because the food was made by over 1,700 ghost kitchens around the world, rather than one truly invested corporation with more quality control, staffing, training, ability to hire and fire, etc., depending on where you lived, the quality of your local MrBeast burgers and their customer service could vary widely. Your meal could be delicious and on brand and nutritious and delicious and yummy in your tummy, or, according to reviews, it could be gross, undercooked, and or inedible, and arrive late in an unbranded package that had the wrong items inside. You could blame the restaurant for it, or you could blame MrBeast himself, which many of his fans did, probably because they're kids and they don't get ghost kitchens and how ghost kitchens work. Just saying, allegedly in my opinion, all right? This venture ended so badly that in 2023, Jimmy and Virtual Dining Concepts, the two partners, literally sued each other over it. I'm going to have links to articles about both of those lawsuits in my description, in my sources list. But to me, I just want to say, like, this situation seems completely predictable. And if anything, it seems like exactly why you don't operate a restaurant business that's exclusively based out of ghost kitchens. That's a lot of people to trust that you don't know, and you're trusting them to make food exactly as you want it, up to a high quality, or at least like just following food safety standards, you know, because people were getting undercooked food, and trusting them to deliver excellent customer service with very minimal training and supervision from you yourself. Your face is on this brand, your brand. It just makes me wonder, though, how much thinking and vetting Jimmy really does before he signs off on a business venture. Which leads me to my next red flag. April 29th and 30th of 2021, multiple articles came out online regarding MrBeast and a cryptocurrency called Refinable, alleging that Jimmy Donaldson himself led fans into a pump and dump scheme. This article by Jorge A. Aguilar from gfinityesports.com, real catchy, is titled, MrBeast's fans believe he has misled them into a refinable crypto scam. This cryptocurrency did a swan dive to the bottom. And just the first paragraph that's written here is enough, in my opinion. Like, let's take a look. MrBeast backed Refinable, a cryptocurrency that has cost its backers so much money that he is accused of misleading his fan base. MrBeast didn't just mention it casually, he allowed his image to be used for marketing this cryptocurrency. Since being released on the 27th, the currency has fallen by $6. This article is from April 29th, 2021, so it's only been 2 days. $6 of loss is huge. This article is worth a full read if you can get around all the ads on the screen. And so is another article that was about the similar thing from Bitcoin Insider. Both of these are linked. I believe that at this time in the timeline, Jimmy was dipping his toes into the social circle of Gary Vee and Logan Paul, both of whom are notorious for barely legal crypto-related shit like this, in my opinion. So I am not surprised if they may have influenced Jimmy in this direction, but I don't know that to be true. This is just my guess. If you're wondering why I'm guessing that, check out my my Logan Paul series from the beginning of 2023. The next red flag, OMG, it's business again and crypto again. On September 2nd, 2021, MrBeast published a tweet that, in the words of Nicole Slasky, baited his impressionable fans into signing up for Coinbase, a cryptocurrency exchange where 3 people were recently charged. This is a recent article that Nicole wrote, and so recently charged means in 2024. 3 people related to this Coinbase cryptocurrency exchange were recently charged in the first ever cryptocurrency insider trading tipping scheme. So again, I have to ask, does Jimmy vet any of this stuff before promoting it to his fans? Or is it just about the money he can make? Like, I have such a problem with people not taking seriously financial loss and financial, I don't want to say crimes because that's a big word, but like creators misusing their fans' finances and then not caring about it. Money makes the world go round. And like when you're as rich as these guys, it's not a big deal to lose thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can recover. But for us plebeians, that's everything. I don't have $1,000 right now to lose. I don't even have $100 right now to lose. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they grow this blindness to reality. They grow this blindness to the power of their money and how rich they truly are once they start like playing these investment games, and like they just lose touch with reality. I really, 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 really hate this kind of scummy shit that allegedly may or may not have gone on. And I didn't plan for all of these business related, crypto related, money related stories to go back to back like this. This is just chronologically how it happened in the timeline here. But to me, it seems like 2021 was the year of Jimmy fucking around and finding out when it came to money and investments and businesses, and boy, again, red flag. Red flag. Next red flag happened in 2021, but we did not find out about it until October of 2023. You might already know what I'm going to talk about. In December of 2021, the Creator Game was published. It is one of MrBeast's series where a tournament style, a bunch of popular YouTubers compete in a bunch of different types of challenges for $1 million. Allegedly, Rosanna Pansino and a creator named Quackity were edited out of the top 3 in a game of hide and seek that was one of the challenges, even though they did better than the other competitors according to them. The 3rd place spot was given to Logan Paul, in Rosanna's opinion, for the optics. She started speaking about this in October of 2023 on the Just Trish podcast, where she also mentions a boys club mentality at Team Beast. She has continued mentioning it and posting recently about it on Twitter. And in regards to the boys club, I just want to mention this. I didn't put this in my list because there wasn't really like one specific point in the timeline to point this out. But the most recent MrBeast video that was posted is a boys versus girls challenge. And I have to say, in the year 2024, in the 2020s in general, the number of boys versus girls, or like men versus women challenges that MrBeast does on his channel, that, by the way, happen to be physical challenges, like some like game of tug of war, or like an obstacle course or something like that. I don't like that in the year 2024. First of all, there are more than 2 genders that exist in the world. Secondly, why are we pitting them against each other all the time? Again, considering that the core audience, whether he wants to admit it or not, is kids. Like, do we have to? I mean, like, I guess that appeals to them because they're young and they're discovering what gender even is. And so they're like, what's the difference between a boy and a girl? And like, because they're 5. But as adult people, we can put more interesting content out for kids than content that pits genders against each other. You can just do tug of war, red team, green team. It doesn't have to be boys versus girls. Why does it have to be sexist? Why? And this is a common theme. He has so many videos over the years that are boys versus girls, men versus women. And there's stories about the most recent Beast Games series that he's filming. They had jerseys. Everybody was choosing their own jersey color, and the jersey color that you got was what team you were on. The orange team apparently was a bunch of strong young men who all banded together and decided to withhold orange jerseys from anybody who was not a strong young man. So anybody who was femme, who was older, like they had elderly people involved in this, or who was like too young, they would not give them, they wouldn't get. So like, that is the kind of culture that permeates in your audience when you're constantly pitting the genders against each other. You're allowing room for people to band together and exclude other people. It is exclusionary by nature. You have an exclusionary leader who, according to people's testimonials from his employees, is sexist and behaves in sexist ways, allegedly. And that is sexist. It's sexist to do like boys versus girls. I hate it. I hate it. Like I said, that has happened multiple times over his channel. So there wasn't like one correct place to put it on the timeline. Just once would be a red flag. The fact that he's posted several of those videos over the years, bright red flag to me. Boys Club. I wonder which team keeps winning in the boys versus girls challenge. I haven't watched them, so I'm genuinely, I don't know. But anyways, all right. The next red flag, right on time, May 4th, 2021. I put that out of order, my bad. I put the Creator Games too early in the timeline. Anyway, May 4th, 2021, There was an article by, again, Taylor Lorenz, who now was writing for the New York Times, and who exposed a toxic workplace at MrBeast. This is a huge expose in terms of traditional media. But at the same time, in 2021, I'm not sure how in tune social media users were with traditional media like the New York Times. This New York Times article, I've referenced this article before in one of my previous videos. I don't remember if it was the video or the live stream. It does include a lot of the claims that I've already talked about in this video, the tweets with the homophobic and racist language, videos where Jimmy was being racist and homophobic and sexist. It said several former employees said that the working conditions at his companies, Jimmy Donaldson's companies, have been rife with favoritism and bullying. This New York Times article is an excellent resource, and it was one of my core resources for this video. So I do highly recommend that you try to take a look at it yourself. On November 24th of 2021, MrBeast posted a video that was a recreation of Squid Games, which caused controversy as some people saw it as plagiarism, first and foremost. Other people pointed out that Jimmy's version of Squid Games seemed to completely miss the point of the viral show. There was a crushing irony in him, MrBeast, Jimmy Donaldson, a very rich and influential person, reenacting a dystopian show where impoverished contestants who were desperate for money were exploited and pitted against each other to the death in hopes of winning money. MrBeast unironically doing this in real life, minus the death part, for his and his fans' entertainment and for his own profit, seems, in a lot of people's opinion, to reveal a chilling lack of empathy and understanding. And this should have been more than a red flag, like a blaring alarm, in my opinion. Next red flag, though. January 1st, 2022... a very strange thing happened. I need you to stay with me on this one. Since October 29th, 2021, MrBeast and Mark Rober had been raising money for their Team Seas campaign, which wanted to raise $30 million to be used to remove 30 million pounds of marine waste from the ocean. They hoped to reach their goal by January 1st, 2022, and they would have just missed it if not for a certain donation that Jimmy tweeted about. The tweet reads, "We did it. Austin Russell noticed we came up a few million pounds short, so he got us over 30 million. Laughing, crying face. Shout out to the over 600,000 different people that donated to Team Seas and the creator community for being so awesome in supporting this." Aw face, I guess, like aw, I don't know, and 3 hearts. Hashtag Team Seas. We did it. January 1st, 2022. So here's what's up with this. The red flag in this tweet is the name Austin Russell, who is connected, hear me out. Austin Russell is connected with Kremlin-associated Russian oligarch Magomed, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Magomed Musayev, and Trump-supporting Russian oligarch Peter Thiel, one of whose books MrBeast publicly supported. There's a fantastic breakdown of these connections and what they could mean, plus other less obvious red flags, like this one, in a video by Nicole Slasky, whose name I've mentioned a couple times, which was posted on December 5th, 2023. She also has a blog called Hot Girls Have Hobbies, where she posts her essays in article form. She does video essays. That was the video version. The article version is available on Hot Girls Have Hobbies. I have to say, fantastic research by Nicole Slasky. Really, really gorgeous work. It is a rabbit hole to go down, though, so I really had to restrain myself from just diving down in there for this video. It was so worth learning about. I do recommend that you watch the video and or read the article. They will both be linked in my description. I appreciate Jake Weddle for sharing Nicole's video on his community tab, because that's how I found it. And I'm glad that I did, because I really don't like the looks of the connections and financial ties that she describes. If Jimmy is watching this, if MrBeast is watching this, I just really recommend that you put your hands up and step away from the Russian oligarchs, okay? Jimmy, can we do that? Please. Next red flag, or at least it is for me. On January 29th, 2022, MrBeast launched his Feastables chocolate bars, which occupied Jimmy for most of the year of 2022, launching, promoting, doing stuff with Feastables. In and of itself, launching a chocolate bar business is not a bad thing, but people took issue with the fact that he heavily cross-promoted Feastables with Logan Paul, who had his Prime energy drinks to promote. A lot of people don't like Logan Paul, for good reason in my personal opinion. Please see my Logan Paul videos from the beginning of 2023 about Crypto Zoo and Dink Doink and all that shenanigans, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So people were surprised, disappointed, and turned off by Jimmy's choice to consistently partner with Logan throughout the year. Next red flag, in March of 2022, MrBeast went on Joe Rogan's podcast, which was a weird move because of how controversial Joe Rogan was and his opinions are and his use over time of allegedly, in my opinion, racist, homophobic, misogynistic, and anti-vax rhetoric. It's a weird collab because this would be very inappropriate content for Jimmy's core audience, kids. That's the point of collabing, is usually to share audiences. To me, Jimmy's choices to partner with and promote questionable people like Logan Paul and Joe Rogan reveals how Jimmy really feels about a lot of things. Think about it, okay? All right, next red flag. April 4th, 2022. Then and Now posted a video called The Problem with MrBeast, which explores Jimmy's specific style of philanthrocapitalism and delves further into philanthrocapitalism as a whole. It's a fascinating watch, even though it's not fully on topic for today, but it echoes a sentiment about MrBeast's efforts that many adults could probably see, but his child audience, his child fans could not. Perhaps the parents could watch and be more aware. Whoever this video was for, the warning was out there. And that's the point with this list of red flags. These are publicly available resources, articles, videos. People are not being silent over the years. Here in July of 2024 is not the first time that people have had a problem with MrBeast. These are red flags. They are waving, they are out there, they are, hello, pay attention. And for some reason, the attention was not there. Next red flag. On June 7th, 2022, my very own birthday, a creator named Steven Joshua posted a YouTube video on his channel 52 Games, where he described his experience filming a 2019 MrBeast video called Last to Leave the Toilet. It's a heartbreaking video. Josh tried really hard to keep a positive attitude while he was filming, but as the video went along, he described how the challenge had affected him physically, like the toilet literally ripped his skin, and mentally, and emotionally. He ultimately compared the challenge by the end of the video to torture. A lot of people are theorizing in the comments that Josh's video was shadow banned because it's just now reaching the algorithm and people are just finding it. I'm going to link this video if you want to watch it. It was a video made in 2022 about an experience in 2019, so keep the time frame in mind. He also posted a follow-up video a week and a half ago, now that people have started to find the original one. And in that follow-up video, with the hindsight of everything that has come out about Jimmy and time to process the experience, he reveals that he feels cheated, among other things. First of all, Steven Joshua showed in this most recent video texts that he had with Jimmy shortly after that toilet video shoot. And in these texts, he offered to show Jimmy the photo of the injury to his leg, but Jimmy declined with a, ha ha ha, thanks for the offer, but no thanks. Ew. Josh, or Steven Joshua, then went on to describe another controversy. You see, Last to Leave the Toilet was one challenge within a tournament-style competition, and the ultimate winner of this tournament, named Mark, got a $1 million prize from MrBeast, but there was a catch. He needed to spend it all in one day. The winner did the best that he could, but he has later come out to say that he wishes he had made better choices with his money. He also says that he had asked Jimmy for financial advice so that he didn't fuck himself over, but he never got that advice from Jimmy, MrBeast. red flags being raised everywhere. The next red flag comes from January 8th, 2023. MrBeast released a video which, to this day, is still titled 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time, which was controversial for a few reasons. First of all, that is not what happened in this video. As Bloggy Indicator explains, and I'll have their article linked, MrBeast paid for 1,000 people's cataract surgery, which is wonderful for him to do, but it means that 1,000 people who were not blind had been able to see and developed the treatable problem of cataracts over time, had that problem fixed by MrBeast. Again, it's a great thing. It's nice that he paid for all these people's surgeries, but the implication that it was 1,000 blind people seeing for the first time was, first of all, false, and second of all, was seen as promoting stereotypes and stigmas of the blind or visually impaired community, as well as being charity corn, rhymes with corn, that exploited people in need for Jimmy's content and profit. And that's a common theme with criticism of MrBeast, with his charitable stunt philanthropy. Next red flag, March 3rd, 2023. MrBeast tweeted to tell his fans, mostly children, that it would make him very happy if they cleaned up messy Feastables displays in Walmart stores for free. This is a millionaire, a millions followed celebrity using his influence to get children to do unpaid labor for him. And I'll show you the dang proof. There he goes. There MrBeast goes again. He says, I need your help. Next time you see Feastables in Walmart and soon to be new retailers, it's also self-promo, of course, if you could clean up the presentation and make it look better, that would make me very happy. Little sad face. Look at this. Oh, I'm a wimpy little pathetic little billionaire. I couldn't possibly do anything about this problem myself. I really need the help of my child fans. I'm building a team to do this routinely. Just need help in the short term. Heart. And he shows the difference between a messy display and a clean display. That's how you know he's talking to kids who need that comparison pointed out to them. Like I said, public-facing red flag that people could see. Okay, we're getting down to the wire here now. The next red flag is May 8th, 2023. A New York Post article was published about Jimmy Donaldson quietly buying up a neighborhood for his employees to live in, which, by the way, is essentially starting a company town. Who else have I covered on my channel that tried this? Who else have we heard of that was trying to create a company town for her employees to live in? Oh boy, it's just on the edge of my memory. Is it possible that it was a triangle-headed creator whose favorite color seems to be purple, who has remained publicly silent on certain issues online while very actively suing employees who spoke out against her? I don't even remember who that possibly could be that I'm thinking of on the very edge of my memory. Anyway, next red flag. November 4th, 2023, Jimmy uploaded a video called I Built 100 Wells in Africa, which was another attempt at, quote, philanthropy, which ended up sparking major controversy. It was seen by a lot of people as a white savior video, perpetuating negative stereotypes and perceptions about Africa's cultures, peoples, and resources. Next red flag, February 2024. Welcome to this year. There was a Time magazine article which repeatedly brings up former employees' descriptions of the toxic workplace at MrBeast. This article is in the Time 100 Leadership series. It's this very weird dichotomy or like paradox or something that's presented in this article where they'll be like, MrBeast is really getting a lot done and he's really being productive and really making some great business moves. And here's this coworker or employee talking about how nobody sleeps and everybody is afraid of him and blah, blah, blah. It's weird. It's worth a read, but it's a weird one. March of 2024, the relaunch of MrBeast's Feastables company. Originally, Feastables chocolate bars were essentially marketed as a healthier-ish choice of chocolate bar because they were plant-based, gluten-free, and only had 4 or 5 ingredients in each bar. This formulation was partially informed by Jimmy's Crohn's disease, which limits what he can eat without bothering his stomach. But when Feastables were relaunched in spring of 2024, partly due to Jimmy losing a copyright dispute over the name of one of his chocolate bars, the chocolate bars now had a more complex ingredient list. It's not that complex, but it was a change. There was a significant allergen change, in my opinion. The old ingredient list used sunflower lecithin, and the new ingredient list uses soy lecithin. I'm going to link you to an article from the time of the launch and the Feastables webpage where you can compare the ingredients for yourself and see the changes that took place. I don't know how much he advertised the change. The new ingredients in the formulation could be caused by a couple of different things. My opinion, my speculation. First, the goal of the Feastables company had changed over time. As opposed to focusing on Feastables being this very healthy, simple ingredients, clean, organic, whatever chocolate bar, the relaunch focused around Feastables being the best tasting chocolate bar ever made by mankind, or like something along those lines. Jimmy hosted an elaborate taste test to prove that Feastables tasted the best. Although 5 months ago, food theorists posted a video proposing that this taste test was rigged in a way that guaranteed that Feastables would win. So I'm going to link that video below. The best flavor in the world may have needed a few more or different ingredients. The ingredient change, however, could also be the result of switching to a new manufacturer, and this one is disturbing. The new manufacturer is allegedly potentially linked to using child labor and forced labor to make their products. The Feastables website quietly deleted a webpage that used to promote that they were a slave-free business. Why has that webpage vanished? I don't know, but I really don't like it. This change was briefly mentioned in a video by Future Proof from October of 2023, and it was explored more thoroughly in a video by Honestly about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm going to have both of those videos linked in my sources. If you just watch one more video, I really recommend this one. This is a very important situation to learn about. It's very disturbing if it's true. And I think I'm kind of surprised that MrBeast is not being called out more about it. So that would be the one that I would recommend that you check out. So this whole timeline led up to the 2 biggest reddest flags that people have noticed from July of 2024. The first red flag, July 16th, 2024, a video by commentary YouTuber AdRocks exposed the Ava Tyson situation with her, to say the least, inappropriate interactions with fans. Even though the channel AdRocks only currently has 17,000 subs or so, their video hit the algorithm just right and garnered over 1.3 million views as of the time of filming this video here on September 11th. While AdRocks' video is based on the work of other YouTubers that published videos in June, this video from July is the one that brought Ava's situation into the limelight, and other bigger YouTubers started to catch on to the story and elevate it. I will link this video in my source list if you want to follow down that rabbit hole. Again, I had to draw a line somewhere. I'm not going to discuss that situation. This video, however, in my opinion, was the beginning of the downfall of MrBeast. It started to tip the scale. Suddenly, there was a lot of scrutiny pointed in the direction of MrBeast's BFF and frequent collaborator, and so soon that scrutiny turned toward MrBeast Jimmy himself. Which leads us to the next big red flag that people actually paid attention to. July 18th of 2024, the news started coming out, articles started circulating about the filming of Beast Games Round 1 with 2,000 people. And in past videos, I have covered the fact that this was supposed to be a first round with 1,000 contestants, not 2,000. I have covered how there was a lack of food available on set. People were struggling to get access to their medications. There were injuries on set, including some injuries that were not even properly cared for. And those stories are still continuing to come out, thanks to people like Rosanna Pansino and Dogpack 404 becoming mouthpieces for those who are too afraid and can't risk speaking up on their own. I also want to point out what this article is sharing. This article, which was posted on casino.org, it was posted on July 18th, 2024, and updated on July 19th, says the following. Update, July 19th, 2024. In a concerning twist to this story, a source claims Desert Springs Hospital, quote, has seen countless patients today coming from Beast Games due to lack of food and water. We have reached out to MrBeast and his publicist about the situation. No further information is available at this time. Updated on July 20th, 2024, we heard back from a MrBeast representative who stated, quote, MrBeast was working on an upcoming video with 3 medical issues out of 2,000 participants. Minimizing. Love that. 2 were medical events unrelated to the games or production. Why do I doubt that? Why do I doubt that? And 1 involved dehydration. There was plenty of water and electrolyte drinks on site and full medical staff. Personnel attended to the people immediately. They were all released shortly after and are doing well. The article writer goes on to say, we've received contradictory reports about the conditions during the production of Beast Games. Why am I not surprised? A hospital employee told us, quote, I'm aware of 3 or 4 hospital evacs today. Overnight shift said it was insane. So not sure if or how many hospital evacs there were. The production is a shit show and unprepared for the scale, making decisions as they go along. The bare bones medic staff on site, bare bones, not full medical staff. The bare bones medic staff on site is not adequate and were overwhelmed last night. They compete at night. 1 contestant reports, quote, contestants were instructed to provide producers with 5 days worth of medications, and as of today, contestants have not received a single dose. They have denied food to diabetics, denied water to contestants, and at least 2 individuals have had seizures as a result. The MrBeast representative says this information is inaccurate. I wonder who that representative is and if they were there or not. You know, just wondering, because the contestants were there. The representative, if they're like a lawyer who was not present, I don't know. You know, I'm just saying. There were allegedly some very concerning things going on at the filming of round 1 of the Beast Games, and the filming of round 2 is coming up, or it's happening right now. Like, we need to take this seriously. Everybody's been yelling about it for a while now, and I don't know what, if anything, has been done to address it. This goes back all the way to 2017. There were allegations at the beginning of this timeline about unsafe working conditions when it comes to producing MrBeast videos, let alone a video that involves 2,000 contestants, plus the crew, plus medical staff. They're still showing the same lack of safety efforts from way back in the beginning. So I find that concerning. Those stories about Ava and about Beast Games came out in the middle of July of 2024. And since then, there has been much more follow-up, mostly focused on these 2 topics, because these are the ones that caught fire and really spread throughout YouTube. Rosanna Pansino has been posting about MrBeast. And like I said, she's become a main source and voice and mouthpiece for people who had participated in Beast Games. There was an article about MrBeast making a statement about the Ava Tyson situation, saying that he didn't know about it, which I find interesting because remember way back at the beginning where MrBeast said that he liked the art of Shadman, and him and Ava were both into Shadman, and how MrBeast had art by Shadman showing the inappropriate situation of a child on his living room wall. Remember that from back in like 2017? So I do find it hard to believe, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I do find it hard to believe him coming out and saying that, no, I had no idea. Whoa, that's so weird. We're gonna investigate that. So, and then after that, Dogpack 404 started releasing his videos. Rosanna Pansino leaked a production manual document that basically described how to succeed on Team Beast in a very unfortunate way. It's full of toxic shit with no work-life balance is basically the easiest way to summarize it. On August 17th of 2024, Rosanna, on top of her posting about generally the stories of people who had been participating in Beast Games Round 1, sharing their stories, she posted about a particularly dangerous competitor of Beast Games Round 1, who she was very concerned about because of their criminal record, allegedly. Things like that. Were their background checks done when they cast this show? Similar to the question I have about were their background checks done with the business ventures that MrBeast did. You know, like the crypto stuff. There seems to be a theme of like not much double checking, not much care, not much caution, not much safety. You know, Jimmy's moving at a breakneck speed to put out as many videos as possible to make as much money as he can so that he can give it away, of course, because he's like such a philanthropist. But I don't believe that that's literally where all of his money goes. Guys, like, let's be real. He has a compliance officer who is his mom. I don't know what she's doing, but she's got to get on this. Jimmy's got to get on it. Concerns have been raised for years, allegedly, according to people. Just now, Jimmy is doing like, we're going to do an internal investigation of ourselves to make sure that our culture is okay. Yeah, Jim Jam. All right. I think all along there was a need for more double checking, more safety, more vetting, more opinions. And we'll get to that in just a minute. Now, finally, big news media is picking up on this story, at least about the Beast Games. NBC reported on him on September 3rd in a conversation with Rosanna Pansino, and there are more articles starting to come out in the mainstream news about the Beast Games situation and about Ava Tyson and linking it all back to MrBeast. There are other videos from this timeline that I didn't even get to look at. Tiffany Ferg made a video over a year ago called MrBeast's Philanthropy Won't Save the World. She usually has based takes, so I'd say take a look at that. Scott Kramer made a video in late June of 2024 called MrBeast's Website is So Creepy. I don't know what that's about, but that looks fun. Looks like it could be very interesting. The Cavernacle. I don't know this creator, but he has been raising the alarm about Jimmy's various problematic behaviors for years. And a month ago, he posted a video called, quote, I was right about MrBeast, which delves into some of what I have covered and a ton of other fascinating stuff that I did not even broach in this video. Financial stuff, especially business stuff, shady stuff. And there's so many more deep dives out there right now about this topic, definitely about the current stuff, and a few that reach back in time like my video is trying to do. You can probably fill a year watching content on MrBeast and his current situation, and I'm not helping with that by creating this deep dive. But here's the big question that I have. I just spent over an hour telling you about all the red flags that have existed about MrBeast. Why were they being missed all this time? Well, I have a few theories. One, many of the things that I just told you about were published in more traditional media websites with articles where the audience that is most impacted by Jimmy Beast Donaldson are not really looking for their news. They're too young for the New York Times and the Atlantic and these crypto websites and various other sources. They're on YouTube. And they're watching MrBeast because he's also on YouTube. Next, there is rumors, allegations of stifling of these stories by MrBeast stans. Several people, including Rosanna Pansino, who have come forward about their stories, have described that once they even started hinting about something negative that they experienced with MrBeast that they wanted to share, they were flooded with very specific, chilling, real-looking, unaliving threats to the extent that they felt they needed not to speak. And has MrBeast said anything to stop these vicious fans? Honestly, I'm not sure. That's a real question. I don't know. if he has ever said anything to his viewers about no hate, we don't spread hate, it's all love here. But I will say I haven't seen him make any statements about that recently in the past month or two, while he's been all over the news and his fans have been all over everywhere. I think now would be the time to address his fans' behavior and encourage them not to bully people and make threats. If he did that and I missed it, let me know, but I haven't seen it. And that's a red flag in and of itself for me, a gigantic one. Next, I think these red flags are being missed because of legal action or the fear of it. MrBeast has money, he has lawyers, and he has NDAs signed by his former employees. That is enough to stop a lot of people from speaking out due to fear of retaliation or actual retaliation in the case of Dogpack 404, for example. Finally, I think we've all been giving Jimmy the benefit of the doubt. We wanted him to be the philanthropist that he was portraying himself to be. I also look back and I'm reminded of something that was said in one of my earlier coverage, that Jimmy has formed a cult of personality. In that type of situation, in a cult, nobody can tell the leader anything wrong. It's been reported on that he keeps a small circle, a boys' club around him of people who certainly don't criticize him. That a production manual says there's no such thing as no. He is not someone who makes himself appear particularly open or receptive to criticism. And it seems that when people have brought up criticism, they have been removed from the company. And now we're seeing the results of that. People are getting hurt at the filming of his Beast games. His BFF and employee has allegedly had very inappropriate interactions with multiple people that she would not have been able to have had she not been related to or associated with MrBeast. These are the things that you grow blind to when you're not taking time to be safe, to double check things, to use precautions, to actually make your compliance officer do some compliance shit. Because I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but she's not making sure people don't get fucking trampled, stampeded on at the round one of Beast games, allegedly. You need someone on your team to keep you in check. Especially the bigger you grow, the more money you have, and especially if you're somebody like Jimmy Beast, who seems to be very money driven. I go back often to man cannot serve both God and money. And God does not have to literally mean God. It can mean morals, it can mean ethics, it can mean general goodness, but I think there's a truth in that sentiment. Man cannot serve both God and money. One becomes his master and he abandons the other. I'm paraphrasing a Bible verse, essentially. And in situations like these, that constantly comes to my mind. In my opinion, Jimmy has been serving money for a very long time, and it's finally coming to bite him in the ass. Hopefully, he changes his ways moving forward for the safety of other people around him, including his own employees and coworkers and his own boys in his boys club. But we'll see. We'll have to see. All this time, we've given Jimmy that benefit of the doubt, hoping he would do the right thing. And by now, I'm starting to see in hindsight that that is a benefit that Jimmy did not deserve. At least in my opinion. Please let me know yours. Thanks for sticking around for a long haul kind of video. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Do me a favor. I hope that if you've watched this video this far, especially, that you give it a like, that you subscribe to my channel, that you share this video with anyone you think might be interested. Check out my other content. Like I said, my live tab has all the live streams that you might have missed if you only watch my videos. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm very interested. Definitely list sources of things that I may have missed, other red flags, and let me know what you think about these red flags. Are they really red flags, or am I just being a little over concerned? Let me know. I'm sure somebody will. I'm hoping I'm going to see you again soon. My life is kind of changing a lot schedule-wise, so we'll see. In the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for sticking around and watching this video. Peace be with you always. Goodbye.